call the meeting to order. And first of all, I'll read that pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, I am hereby informing all attendees that a video and audio recording is being made of this meeting, and so everyone is informed. And with that, we will head into our agenda for tonight. The first order of business is the open session minutes from August 19th. And I think, is there any comments, or do we have a motion for approval or questions?
I have a question. Yeah.
Sure.
Just on number 2, public hearing, to the third paragraph, it mentions that I asked a question about the setting distance back from the road, and it says 18 feet. For some reason, I thought our answer was 8 feet. I don't know if you can...
It could have been. I wasn't at that meeting.
Oh,
I was
okay.
getting it off the Zoom recording, so it was real muffled.
Yeah, because 18 is way too far for a pole. So if that could be adjusted to be 8, I'm pretty sure that that's what we were told is 8 feet, and that's more reasonable than 18 feet. And then on number 4, general business, if we could insert the word street after Roberts every time, it just says Roberts at East Center, so that in the future, if anybody's wondering what we're talking about, it's Roberts Street in 2 different places. And that's all. That's all my comments were. And I'm sorry, it's not. On town administrator report, on number 6, they talk about the paving being done, and it talks about Pleasant Street, and it's actually Old Pleasant Street, if we could add the word old in there to be more accurate. Otherwise, it's out on Route 102.
Yep.
Those are my only thoughts, if you folks would entertain those adjustments.
Is there a motion to approve with those?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes of
August 19th.
Yeah, August 19th with said corrections.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? If there is none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next order of business, we come to public comment, and this is for anyone who would like to, in the audience or on Zoom, come forward and make a comment. Please.
I don't see anybody who wants to comment under public.
Identify
Yes, we
yourself and let everybody know what's on your mind.
Kathy Hall. I try not to cause trouble, but I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I do the best I can. So at any rate, first of all, I just want to thank...
Happy birthday first.
There you go.
I want to thank the town of Lee, thank the DPW. The roads are fabulous. Oh, the paving. Oh, and I know the last time I complained because people were like, we're on a dead-end street. How do we get in and out? But it is fabulous. What a fantastic opportunity to get all these roads done. Was it part of a grant? Where did you dig up the money?
Sean's very generous.
Yeah, right.
We just don't know that about him.
Most of that was probably Chapter 90 funds that we get from the state year to year. I think that
I think a few years ago we also bonded out some money. We borrowed some money to put in consecutive years to get some done. So it may have included some of that. But yeah, we got a lot of bang for our buck this year.
Oh, fabulous, absolutely wonderful.
And the paving company, it was LB Corp, and I think we have to nod to them too. They did a great job. And they updated their signs appropriately on Old Pleasant Street to the right dates.
Yes.
So that was all good.
Wonderful.
No, so they did a great job.
Yeah. So now, as the chairperson of the Lee Youth Commission, just want to remind everybody of the wonderful festivities we have September 19th, 20th, and 21st for the Founders Weekend. So many activities, Friday's Taste of Lee, plus a whole bunch of stuff. Saturday is the parade. After the parade, wonderful activities down at the athletic field. And Sunday, in addition to the duck race, we're going to have the doggy parade, which is really good. And I know there's one other thing, but it escapes me right now. So It's been wonderful, just chit-chatting with you. I'll see you soon. Thank
Yes,
you.
you will. Thank you.
Anyone else have a public comment they'd like to make? Please come up and,
Hi, Kathy Corbett, and I also would like to thank the DPW for doing such a great job on Old Pleasant Street and all of the side streets. It looks really good and stuff, and it's amazing, because there were so many potholes and everything down there. I know I've talked to you about this before, but, you know, it looks really, really well. I'm surprised to see that all of Little Italy, as a lot of Lee residents know it as, Old Pleasant Street. But, yes, that was a great job. One other request that I had, a couple requests, is would the DPW please put a crosswalk where the package store is? So, you know where I'm talking about, right, Gordon?
Yes.
Yeah. And talking about lights, I would like to have a light at the beginning of the bridge as you're going up to like Lena Avenue, not Lena Avenue, right before Birch Street.
yep, the bridge
Right there,
over the
yeah, right- Yeah, right
Housatonic.
before the bridge, not the other way, not through Pleasant Street and over the old Pleasant Street, and back to the package store, that way. But, yeah, and if there could be a light, the very beginning of Birch Street. No, but that, like I say, and if there were any other roads that they did around town, I'm sure they came out wonderful also. And I'd like to thank the BW for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'll just,
I also would like to thank the DPW for not painting wheelchair signs on the ground.
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
And just letting it be handicap parking poles. Like I say, it was just a waste of money for so many years.
yeah.
Thank you.
thank you. If there's nobody else for public comment, don't see anyone, we will move into general business. Our first item on our general business is a discussion and potential signing of a Mass DOT railroad hearing letter, and I can read the letter if we get to that, but really this is a discussion on whether or not we would like Mass DOT to not have a hearing to give their approval as they are, the railroad abuts a housing project that is in the works in town. Is that, if that kind of sums this up. Do either of you have any initial thoughts or comments?
I believe you have someone.
Oh, Jeff, do you want to come explain? Maybe you can explain it a little better.
I can tell you what I know, and I'm not sure I'm right. I'm Jeff Cohen. I'm here representing Eagle Mill Redevelopment, the West Center Street Trust, which owns the property in question, and the Community Development Corporation of South Berkshire, which has the property under
Right.
contract. It's my understanding that if a railroad in Massachusetts ever owns a property in Massachusetts, regardless of whether they currently own it or not, they have a right to review a development project that abuts the property they own or owned. In our case, they owned 105 Canal Street and perhaps 95 Canal Street, which they sold in 1943, 82 years ago. So to comply with the requirements of the law, we have to ask them whether or not to have a public hearing to review the project. My suggestion to the board is the railroad has no need to review the project. They have no ownership interest. They haven't had it for over 80 years. And I think the town boards and commissions is where the opportunity and responsibility is to review the project and act on it as they have. just in case the board's not aware, obviously the planning board issued the special permit. This board approved the license for the small parcel between the lots. The Conservation Commission unanimously approved the project. And the Zoning Board of Appeals will have its second hearing on it in a week. And judging by the first hearing, I think we're fine with that too. So our suggestion is that the board send a letter to the DOT and tell them that it's not necessary nor requested that they hold a public hearing with regard to the project. And I'm here if you have any questions. And by the way, somewhat off topic, the dilapidated house that was on 105 Canal Street forever is gone as of today. It'll be carted away over the next 3 or 4 days, but no one's going to be in there anymore. So good for all of
Great.
us.
Thank you. Any questions? No. Bob?
No, that clarifies it pretty well.
Well, I may as well read the letter at this point, unless either of you have any other suggestions, but, yeah, this would be, to Mass DOT, I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, but dear Mr. Velasquez,
Yeah.
it is our understanding that the owner of the properties at 95 and 105 Canal Street have submitted a Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 54A application in reference to a new affordable housing development proposed for those and 2 other abutting properties in the town of Lee. The town of Lee is familiar and supportive of the project. To date, the project has filed and achieved approval from a special permit from the Lee Planning Board and filed and achieved approval from the Lee Conservation Commission. The project is scheduled for a hearing with the Zoning Board of Appeals on 26 August 2025, which has already taken place, but there's a continuing. And it is our understanding that in the 54A process, a public hearing can be held by Mass DOT if necessary or requested by the local community. Based on various other board hearings of the project, presentations to town officials, and public review, the town of Lee does not find that a public Mass DOT hearing is necessary. I hope that this letter meets your needs, and please do not hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. So this would be from us. Does this kind of represent all of your feelings as well, gentlemen?
You know, for the purpose of discussion, I'll make a motion that, first of all, we just remove "is" in the last sentence. And then once that's done, I move that we sign the letter to the Mass DOT regarding 95 and 105 Canal Street.
And as I have done before, I'm going to abstain from discussions or vote
Okay.
because of some of the language in here, so. But it's going to go through anyway, so.
I will second that. And unless there is any further discussion, Bob,
No?
I would call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I abstain.
One abstention. And moving on, our next order of business is another Mass DOT issue. This is an easement and taking for ADA compliance sidewalk repair this is an intersection at 1380 Pleasant Street. This is down in South Lee on the corner of Pleasant Street, or Route 102 as we know it, and Church Street, where we own some property and our South Lee Fire Department.
Yeah, fire department.
And I think the post office is still operating down there as well,
Yeah.
in the same building. And this, we have a couple sketches here and various data just showing what they're gonna do, and they're just gonna improve this section of, it's really the radius of the curve, the intersection, and improve that sidewalk and crosswalk to be ADA compliant. And we have a couple, really it's a land damage agreement and a right of entry that I as chair would sign, I'm assuming, because it says owner.
Yep.
There's only one line there. And so that about sums up the scope of what they're asking. Do either of you have any comments or?
I have just a question.
Questions?
I'm fine with this. What I do see is they're on one side of the road, they're doing this adjustment, but what about the other side of the street? It doesn't look like they're making any adjustments to the other side to come, and also, will the town be, if there's that little dip to get off onto the street, is the DPW gonna be painting a crosswalk, or is that the state that's gonna be doing the crosswalk? I couldn't find any documentation. I'm not gonna vote against this, I'm gonna vote for it, but I think that DPW, maybe we could ask for a little clarification on those issues, just so we know what we're getting into. Because I know where we're talking about, and as I look across the street, I don't see that there's also an applicable entry on the other side, other than a driveway curb cut.
Right.
They may be utilizing that.
And maybe I'm mistaken, but I believe that this is for the crosswalk, like across Church Street, not
And that's what I
across
couldn't tell as I'm
Pleasant
looking at
Street.
this. It
But
doesn't,
That's,
it's on an angle.
it's on an angle there, yeah.
You'd think that it would be this
It's-
way if they're going across this way. Sorry, you guys can't see this. But it seems like they're on an angle where they're aiming diagonally across
Yes,
102
it is.
instead
Yeah.
of being flat across. And then, is there an applicable entry on the other side? Because I don't think there's a crosswalk going up Church Street on that side, by the playground.
There isn't on the playground side, but
On the
coming down
102?
102 there is, yeah. So I think that that's what the connection is, but I could be mistaken and it
No,
could be
well.
improving it. But I think for this, we would just be looking at those
Okay.
activities on the corner.
Then, Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we have the chair sign off on the Mass DOT land damage agreement and also on the right of entry agreement, and perhaps follow up with requesting a little further detail.
I will second that.
I have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 And we will get some clarity on exactly which direction the crosswalk will be going. All right, our next order of business, we have a petition for some storage on town property. And I think we have Matt with us remotely with Zoom. Matt, do you want to go ahead and just tell us what this is all about? Oh,
Oh, well, we can't hear you. Hold on a minute. Is it our volume?
It's on.
Try it again. We can't hear him.
it's at 100. Should be coming out this speaker, right, Sabrina?
Can you try, Matt, can you try talking? No.
Yeah. Is
It
your
might be,
computer
it
on
might be
mute?
on his end,
Is
honestly.
your computer on mute? By any chance, look at your F keys.
No.
No.
Matt, I can send you an email with a phone number and you can call in that way via Zoom. If you want to do that. Okay.
Yeah, we'll just table this for a minute until you get him.
Yeah.
Maybe we can handle the next order of business here. We have a disposition of surplus materials, supplies, and equipment policy. Yeah, I had a chance to review this, and it's really just a short policy and a document for, you know, how to handle surplus and, surplus materials, supplies, and equipment that the town, and this is for anything under the sum of $10,000. And it just kind of outlines what to do in yeah, in the event we have any of those surpluses. You guys have any questions? We don't have Chris here to discuss this any further, but,
He just said that.
oh yeah, you have some notes for me?
So this is a formal policy to adopt for disposing surplus materials, supplies, and equipment valued under 10,000. Items can be sold, donated, traded in, or recycled, depending on the condition and value, but under no circumstances may town employees retain them for personal use.
Correct.
And items valued over 10,000 must still follow Massachusetts procurement laws from MGL Chapter 30B.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, the only comment I have is, I read through this, I don't have a problem with it, I think it's fine. But and I know that our town administrator and whatnot is the procurement officer, but there's nowhere in here where it mentions that the Board of Selectmen will even be, the Select Board will even be notified when this happens. So I'm willing to vote for this as long as we just procedurally make sure the administrator knows that we'd like to just be notified. And we don't have an approval process or anything like that, just if you're gonna get rid of stuff, make sure we know. Because people ask us questions. It would be nice to know ahead of time of what's being considered surplus and what's out there, not, so.
Yeah, no, I
don't
agree.
think we need to get involved other than just to be notified. And with that said, I mean, I'm willing to make a motion that we approve the Town of Lee surplus materials, supplies, and equipment policy, the disposition of.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. And if there's no further discussion, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Do we have Matt yet, or not yet? Okay. All right, if that's, next order of business after policy, we have a non-binding, resolution that I will read, we will consider. So this is, the Town of Lee's non-binding Select Board resolution for, the rule of law, or rule of constitutional law. And it states that the Town of Lee, through its Select Board, is governed by the Constitution of the United States and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The Select Board, consistent with the oaths taken by its members, follows that law. It admits to ensure that all persons living in, working in, or visiting Lee be treated fairly and equally, regardless of national origin, race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, disability, immigration status, or political viewpoint. The enforcement of the national, federal, civil immigration laws is the responsibility of the federal government, not Town of Lee departments. The Select Board further states that in accordance with Lee Police Department's current policy regarding immigration enforcement, officers only inquire as to a person's immigration status when such status is directly material to a criminal investigation or is otherwise required by law. 3, nothing in this resolution prevents town police officers, employees, or officials from lawfully discharging their duties in compliance with local policies or applicable state or federal legal requirements. This is not limited to compliance with 8 U.S.C. Section 1373 and compliance with a valid criminal warrant, court order from a court of competent jurisdiction, or other evidence of probable cause as required by the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution. By this statement and resolution, the Lee Select Board affirms its commitment to the rule of constitutional law. And we're going to discuss whether or not we want to, do we need a motion to adopt? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll move that we adopt the non-binding resolution, the rule of constitutional law.
I will second that, and before we have that, maybe anybody in the audience, someone who sort of
Yeah,
brought this forward might.
I would open this up for a discussion if anyone would like to say anything further other than what I've read and what we discussed. It's in,
One
yeah.
hand.
it's important that everybody knows they have constitutional rights and, you know,
Yeah.
we're your representative, so.
I'm thrilled that you are looking at this, and I just think it's important in the times we're living in. Things are getting scary throughout the nation, and I just am hoping that you will adopt this because it's protecting our citizens, our legal immigrants, the people that have made Lee the wonderful town it is. And more and more towns and cities are adopting measures like this. I don't know what the result of it will be, but it's just a small step towards saying we believe in the Constitution and the rights of our citizens. So I just wanted to say that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So I have a motion and a second, and unless anybody else wants to say anything or add anything, I will call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That should be
Mascot,
good.
let's go back to the Lee football, the Lee youth storage issue. Matt, can you hear me?
He has to.
You got to unmute. Yeah, see if it'll work at this time.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry.
So please just tell us briefly what you got. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite all right. We appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely. So currently we have a kind of dilapidated shed that's been down at the wastewater plant for easily over 20 years probably. I remember when I was a kid getting football gear there. We have an opportunity to put a storage container so we can store all of our helmets, shoulder pad equipment that's been provided to all the kids that want to play football. In the shed, we've been having issues with mice getting in and causing damage to the equipment. And we're totally funded by fundraisers and we're nonprofits and everything. So we're just basically looking to, instead of keeping it in the shed that's down there attached to the old salt shed, well, it's current salt shed that's down there, it's basically just putting a storage container somewhere on the wastewater property or somewhere out of the way and out of the way of the DPW. Basically our request.
Great. Well, we appreciate you coming before us, and I think this is something that we might be able to oblige, but I think there's an issue of insurance, because if you guys are putting, you're a nonprofit entity or whatever, if you're putting something on town property and accessing it and using it, we're just gonna need you to add the town as an additional insured, and just to have everything above board and have us all covered, which, being as you already, you go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think you might already have this in place. We just weren't sure, because it sounds like, I know, because I've been down there too, that you have a storage shed already.
Yes. I believe we have an insurance policy, which the town is named in. It gets renewed every year.
Okay.
I'd have to provide that to the town clerk.
Yeah. Great, so I think as long as we make it condition on that and follow up and make sure that we're insured, we're all set. So I would entertain a motion to that effect.
Sure, Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to allow the Lee Youth Football to place a storage container on the property currently used for the sewer treatment plant, given their proof of coverage of the town by their liability insurance certificate, and be placed in a location as determined by the DPW superintendent.
I would second that.
I have a motion and a second, and that was one question I was gonna ask is, Matt, have you discussed with anybody where this thing would be placed?
I've only had slight discussions with Zach. currently. And I was told by Chris that I had to bring it before the selectmen first, so I kind of was coming to this, get squared away, and then I could go to Zach and select and the DPW to figure out other specifics. If I wasn't approved, then I figured.
Yeah.
You know.
No, so, yeah, I think as long as you do that and they put it, you agree on the spot to put it where it's not in the way, we will be all set. So with that, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And make sure you get Lenny Tisdale involved too. He's the superintendent as well as Zach Sorrentino, just to make sure everybody's on board with exactly what's happening.
Absolutely.
Sure, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, that brings us down to F. And we have a proclamation here that we are considering reading, and I will read it right now. This is the Town of Lee proclamation dated September 2nd, 2025. Whereas Kathy Hall was a founding member of the Youth Commission, and whereas Kathy has served the Town of Lee as chairperson of the commission for over 10 years, and whereas Kathy has made numerous contributions to both the town and the commission, and whereas Kathy will be retiring from this position after years of service to the town, now therefore be it resolved that I, Sean Renier, Chairman of the Select Board of Lee, Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim that Lee Athletic Field Playground be dedicated to Kathy Hall, Lee Youth Commission Chairman. Given under my hand and the seal of the town of this, the second day of September, 2025. Thanks, Kathy, here. It's backwards.
Yeah.
Here, Rob.
So, before you do that, Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we allow you to sign this declaration.
That's what I was
How's that? Don't get the cart before the horse over there, Kathy. So that's my motion, yeah.
Kathy who?
Yeah. We've never seen her before, but there she is, behind the scenes, always.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye. Now,
Kathy, did you have something you wanted?
Thank you so much. I am so humbled by this. I love everything that I've done for the town. I'm gonna miss being part of the Lee Youth Commission, but now that I'm 80 today, it's time to step down and just relax a little bit. But you'll still see me around, okay?
sure.
And I'll still be here to make sure that you take care of business the way it should be.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right. Next order of business, we have an inspection fee waiver request from the LYA.
Mr. Chair, I move that we waive the inspection fee for the LYA.
I'd second that.
Motion and a second. If there's nothing further, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next order of business, we have a couple one-day alcohol licenses to consider. The first of which is a fundraising dinner held by and at the Lee Sportsman's Club Association at 565 Fairview Street. Looks like the date is going to be September 27th from 2 to 10 p.m. Yeah, so this is their fundraiser for a dinner. And do I have a motion for approval of the one-day alcohol beverage license?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the one-day alcohol license for the Lee Sportsman's Association event on September 27th.
I'll second that.
If there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Our next one-day alcohol license is for the Kiwanis Club. Their event is called Medium and Mimosa. This is going to be held at 21 Crossway Street on the following day, September 28th, 10 to 12. They don't have an AM or PM, but I'm assuming AM.
Yeah, AM to start and PM to end.
Yeah. And this is beer and wine only. I have a letter from the Director of Council on Aging and the Senior Center saying that they have no issues with this event, as it would be at the Senior Center. We have tip certifications. Is there anybody who would like to make a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we approve the one-day special one-day alcohol beverage license for the Kiwanis Club at the Council on Aging on September 28th.
I'll second that.
There's no further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next order of business, we have a utility cut to consider. This is at 90 Pease Terrace, and it's to replace a sewer line. This is Mr. Roeder Plumbing doing the contracting, and it looks like we have sign off from DPW and the police department. There will be a detail if they are working in the roadway. So we would all sign this. If there's no questions or concerns, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move we sign the application for the utility cut permit for Mr. Rooter Plumbing at 90 Pease Terrace.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And our last order of general business is a Berkshire Gas permit. This is for a leak repair at 430 Fairview Street, and we have a couple diagrams showing us where they're working. It says on the opposite side of the road than 430 and in the grass of 450. Doesn't say no pro-tunk, but I hope they already did the work.
That's what I was hoping too.
Leaky gas repair, so if there's no issues, I'd entertain a motion.
Sure, Mr. Chairman, I would approve the application to work on the opposite side of the road at 450 Fairview to repair a gas leak at 430 Fairview Street.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So we did have this, before we move to town administrator report, or we'll kind of move to town administrator report in the sense that we have this notice of interest from the United States Department of Agriculture. And Sabrina, did Chris leave us any notes?
Yeah, so the USDA awarded the town of Lee a $1 million grant to acquire land for a public safety complex with permanent federal conditions on how the property can be used, sold, and financed. If you agree to this tonight to sign off, there are two documents to sign. First document to be signed is by the chair only. It's a formal acknowledgement of the conditions, just confirming the town's agreement. The second is also just chair, but it is a resolution authorizing Admin Britton and I to complete all necessary USDA paperwork to secure and manage the grant.
All right. And this pertains to our, I don't know if you mentioned this, but our public safety building, which we're receiving this grant money for. Is there anything either of you would like to say, comment?
We've been waiting for this notice for a long time. We've known about this for probably a year. And just waiting for the federal government to release the funds. And if this releases the funds, I'd say we're in good shape, and that's a good thing.
So I would, if there's no further, I would entertain a motion to allow the chair to sign both documents.
I move that we vote to have the chair sign both documents for the $1 million grant.
I will definitely second that.
All right, motion and a second has been made, and if there's nothing further, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any other topic either of you wanted to discuss?
No.
Anything else from Chris?
Did we miss anything from Chris?
Oh, we have somebody out in the audience.
We missed something else from Kathy, though.
You had your chance.
This isn't public comment anymore, Kathy. You better make this
I
good.
was taken by such surprise. You know, I couldn't have done anything without everybody's help. And I just want to thank everybody who's ever been on the Lee Youth Commission, you know, present, past, for all their help. Because you can never do something alone. It takes teamwork to do everything. So I thank them and I thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I guess we'll let you speak again. Well, our next regular meeting is September 16th, and unless there's anything further, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I would move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.